$4.56. That's what you paid for a gallon of gas on Memorial Day weekend, the highest in 4 years. This week, oil crashed nearly 5%. The headlines are calling it a relief rally. Politicians are taking credit, of course. Wall Street is throwing a party. But here's what no one is telling you. You're still getting ripped off at the pump. And there's a very specific reason why. I'm going to show you exactly what happened and what it means for your wallet and the 3 moves to make right now before the window closes. I'm Rich, former licensed Wall Street stockbroker. This is the leverage report. Let's go. Here's the full picture in 60 seconds because context is everything. Back in late February, the US and Israel launched airstrikes on Iran. Iran responded by closing the Strait of Hormuz. That narrow waterway that roughly 20% of the world's oil passes through every single day. That's 20% gone overnight. Supply side. Oil went from about $70 a barrel to over $115 in a matter of weeks. The fastest spike since the Gulf War. Your gas went from around $3.20 to $4.56 in 2 months. You felt every penny of that. And then this week, a deal. The US and Iran signed a memorandum of understanding. The strait reopens. Oil drops 5% in a single day. Crude is now sitting around $80 a barrel, which isn't historically horrible, but sounds great, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Story time. When I was on the trading floor, there was a saying we used every time oil moved. It goes up like a rocket and it comes down like a feather. I watched traders make fortunes on that gap. The gap between when oil prices moved and when the average person actually felt it at the grocery store, at the pump, in their electric bill. I had a client once, retired guy, fixed income, drove about 40 miles a day for his part-time job. When oil spiked, he called me furious, said the news told him oil was coming down and why was he still paying $4.50 at the pump? I explained the lag. He said no one had ever told him that before. I felt like he'd been lied to his whole life, just like you have. That's why I'm here, because the gap between what Wall Street reports and what hits your driveway is where real people lose real money. All right, here's the insider truth. Oil prices move immediately. Gas prices at your pump do not. When oil spikes, your station owner sees it coming, pre-adjusts, and your price goes up fast, like a rocket. When oil drops, your station owner already bought their inventory at the higher price, so they're in no rush to pass the savings to you. Feathered coming down. Analysts call it the rocket and the feather effect. It's not a conspiracy. It's just how supply chain works. And it consistently benefits the seller, not you. So when oil dropped 5% on Monday, did your pump price drop 5% on Tuesday? Of course not. Maybe it dropped 2 cents. And it will keep trickling down over the next 3 to 6 weeks if the deal holds. That's a big if, and here's why. What was signed this week is not a peace treaty. It is a memorandum of understanding, a handshake on paper. The formal treaty doesn't sign until June 19th in Switzerland. No sanctions have been lifted. Not a single barrel of Iranian oil has returned to the market. The Strait of Hormuz is still being reopened slowly because ship owners and insurance companies need to be convinced it's actually safe before they send their vessels through it. And there's $24 billion in frozen Iranian assets plus $300 billion reconstruction deal on the table, none of which flows until Iran verifiably complies with the terms verifiably. That word is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Bottom line, the market priced in the good news. The market is priced in the good news, but the good news isn't fully delivered yet. If anything goes sideways before June 19th, oil spikes right back, maybe even higher than it was. So as a former broker, I can tell you markets reprice hope faster than reprice reality. And right now, you are watching the hope trade. Let's talk about what this war actually cost the average American family. The average two-car household in America drives roughly 30,000 miles a year. At about 25 miles per gallon, that's 1,200 gallons of gas per year. And gas went from $3.20 to $4.56. That's a $1.36 increase per gallon multiplied by 1,200 gallons. That's $1,632 extra you've spent on gas. That came out of your paycheck, your grocery budget, your vacation fund, your retirement contribution. And oil companies posted record profits while you were doing math at the pump. Here's the part you should be angry at. Oil is up 40% since January 1st. Even after the crash, the relief everyone is celebrating still leaves you paying significantly more than you were 6 months ago. So what can you actually do with this information? So here's your 3 moves. All right, move 1, wait 2 to 3 weeks before you celebrate. Gas prices will come down, but they will lag the oil market by 3 to 6 weeks. If the treaty signs cleanly on June 19th and the Strait fully opens, you'll start feeling relief at the pump by mid-July. Watch for it. Don't let a politician tell you prices dropped when they really didn't. Move 2. If you've been putting off a big purchase that depends on fuel costs, a road trip, a new truck, a delivery for a side hustle, the window between now and mid-July is your planning window. Lock in decisions based on where prices are headed, not where they are today. Move 3. Look at your energy stocks. Oil companies like Exxon dropped 4% on Monday on the deal news. If you hold any energy sector ETFs or individual oil stocks in your portfolio, understand what a sustained peace deal means for those positions. Lower oil is bad for energy stocks. The sector was already down 3.6% Monday. If the deal holds, that trend will continue. The oil companies love it when the prices are up because they get bigger margins and make more margin dollars. For most of you, you're not holding Exxon, you're just filling up. And the real move is simple. The next time someone tells you the economy is great because oil dropped, you know the full picture now. You know the lag. You know the deal isn't done. And you know your household is still down $1,600 from this year alone in gas. That's leverage. And don't forget, this definitely fuels all the inflation because transportation and gas go into everything that you buy. Everything goes on a truck. And the fuel prices are up, the retail prices are up. Drop a question in the comments. What's hitting your wallet the hardest right now? Gas, groceries, or your mortgage? Tell me. I'll answer if you have any questions. I appreciate you watching. Take care.